Today I'm making a dead blow mallet out of this piece of timber. It's blackbutt, which is a very hard Australian native timber. A dead blow mallet has very specific properties. I'll show you that at the end. And I need a quick, easy project to get back into the workshop. Let's get to it. To save some money and time, you could easily just buy 2cm or 3/4 inch boards instead. To move forward, I need material for handles. I think this wood possibly is Meranti. The idea is to sandwich the handle in between the layers, so I'll need to thin it down a bit. I'm also making the top of the head wedge shaped so the handle can't slide off. It's about a 1° angle I'm cutting there. It would have been so much easier to do this earlier on, but better late than never. I'm making the head thinner. Here I'm making the head closer to its final size, and those offcuts will come in handy later. Okay, it's the next day. We have our parts for 2 hammerheads. We have wood for 2 hammerhead handles. We have enough fishing sinkers to sink a battleship. I like the handle on this mallet. I made it maybe a decade ago now. I'm going to use this as a template. Watch your ears. So that'll be my template. And as a bonus, I have wood left over for 2 baby mallets. The head and the handle have the same angle and they line up perfectly. Because the handle has an angle, I need to adjust the miter gauge so that this shoulder cut is perfectly square. Here, I'm only focusing on getting the handle straight and push square against the shoulder. Now I can focus on making sure that these two pieces line up at the bottom and are pushed tight against the handle. No gaps. While that was drying, I made some progress on these baby hammers and cut 2 little grooves. And that handle fits perfectly. Alright. This step, I only need to focus on the side fitting flush with that little shoulder on the handle. The chip packet stops the glue from sticking where you don't want it to stick. Okay, it's day 3. The project's not really that big. I guess the motto of the story is it's all about the journey, not the destination. So I'm enjoying myself, having a good time in the workshop. All the joints on these are tight. All I need to do now is clean it up, trim the edges, make it look more like a mallet, put some finish on it. These play ones, I've glued part of it in. I've glued this part in, so I can now put it in upside down and the balls won't fall out. So I've done that for this side. This side is still loose, so it should still have the dead blow effect, but I've made it so small that it's probably going to be completely useless, and these edges are so thin that it'll probably break. So just a play thing. So that'll glue in like that. Whoops. Oh my God. It feels a little bit loose, so I might add some sand in this side as well Not sure yet. Probably not. Might just glue it up and call it done. First step is to ground that down flat. Then I can put it in the table saw. Day 4, Saturday, midday. The top 5 surfaces are square and parallel, but I want it to look like that. This has got a 2-degree angle. I'm going to start off with a 1-degree angle and go from there. First, I put a 1-degree angle on the miter gauge for the faces, but now put it back to 90 to slice the top. I'm still getting used to this wireless microphone. It makes my voice so much clearer when I'm standing in front of the camera, so it's awesome for that. But I don't need it when I'm just cutting with the saw, so I thought that turning it off would change the input back to the camera mic. Instead, I recorded a whole section with no sound. Oops. I need some leather. To justify cutting this builder's tool pouch, I've never used it and I'm only taking off one pocket. And I practically use every single scrap. I should have used a proper contact adhesive. Time will tell how good liquid nails works out. Normally, these angled heads would have been a pain to clamp, but fortunately, I have a second one to cancel out the angle. Progress report, day 5. The plan today is to flush off the leather on the heads. I'm going to put a iron acetate finish on one of them. That's a black stain. See how it looks, and then perhaps a natural finish on the rest. Let's go. This is a homemade stain made from steel wool and vinegar. It only reacts to tannin, so I guess there's tannin in leather because it goes black straight away. When the stain dries, it goes that grey colour. The oil permanently restores it to the wet colour. What do you prefer, the black or the natural? Day 6, bring it home. Oil has soaked in overnight, so now's a good time to give it a coat of shellac. Got some there. And then later, let's test how they perform. This whole project was sparked by James from Fix It Fingers. We kicked off the hashtag Chapo Challenge 25, a call to makers to get back into the workshop.
This is the Chapo Challenge 25, and there are no prizes. There are no judges. There are no real rules, except for an arbitrarily imposed deadline of 90 days.
This mallet project had been sitting on my list for ages. I sort of wanted to make one, but the real shift came from just starting. That first cut. See the grimace on my face? After that, it was step by step, and the momentum became easy. Working without a hard deadline is surprisingly freeing. Sure, there's a November cut-off to get this video into the challenge playlist, but let's be honest, 3 months to make a mallet isn't exactly pressure. I may have over-engineered the handle with tapers and tenons, but that's the enjoyable part. And here's a nice full circle moment. The wood I used is the same timber I used to build a workbench for a friend. I'll be giving her one of these mallets as a surprise. How about that? The way it works is that the lead weight moves when you hit, and the whole force is put into the workpiece. If it bounces, then it could bruise what you're hitting. The leather face also helps. This microphone really sucks. You know? What the hell's going on there? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the build. If you've got a workshop or some tiny corner where you can make stuff, go on. Just start. I can guarantee it works. Bye.